on, Cougar.
You did it! Sam didn't steal it this time.
Sam didn't steal it.
Hello and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Stryker, and I'm an actor, comedian, and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron.
Aaron is also an actor. I didn't say it last week. I needed to say it
Okay, good, thank you. I'm just waiting for my Red Bull to kick in. I'm fucking tired this morning. This afternoon.
I don't know how I'm this energetic. I'm honestly so hungover, but I'm like, ugh.
Props to you. This is a rebound. You took all the energy you lacked last week.
Yeah.
And you brought it this week.
That's
perfect. It's perfect.
And this week, we got a very special show because it's not technically their first time on the show because they've been in like 12 episodes. But first time on the show as guests, we got the guys that made our fucking dope theme song, the Vidos!
Woo!
Hey. Yes. Where are they? In my pants. Do you have them on the chat here?
What's that? Where who?
The Vidos.
Oh yeah. Can he be joining us?
Believe it or not, they are actually.
I didn't realize he was going to be doing a bit right off.
No, that's
the bat,
okay.
so.
I love bits.
I always appreciate a good bit.
That with
Yes.
Yeah, we don't communicate much. We don't fucking tell.
That was a horrible bit.
We just
You know what? With the delay and then the awkward silence, it always makes it so much more fun when we have a guest on.
And you know what? I loved that I definitely didn't have the bomb of the episode this week.
Yeah, Spencer didn't bomb this episode, which is fantastic.
I feel tension mounting me.
Yeah.
Ooh, sexual
Tension's
tension?
my dog.
Sexual
Ooh.
tension? I'm liking the mustache. It's kind of,
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you guys because we got a shit ton of questions for you because you've got an album coming out. Literally, it's this week, isn't it?
What day is it? The 3rd?
4th.
This is the 4th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 13 days.
13 days.
Ooh.
13 days.
Let's go.
How exciting.
Oh, that's a good.
And this is your
Let's go.
and this is your debut album, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
How long is the delay? Just like say something and I'll say something and be like, you tell me. Is it like you'll be like 3-4 seconds?
Okay, so one time I was farting and I accidentally pooped.
We've all been there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we heard you now. It was about a half a second.
Yeah.
I had my stopwatch going.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. It's like
Oh man, it's
No, it's not
like
terrible.
FaceTiming somebody in Denmark. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not terrible. So
Okay, cool.
No, and also with the magic of post-production, we can take away the delay.
yes,
Oh,
That's why Sam has the hookiest line of the song.
the magic of Sam.
The magic of Sam.
yeah. One of my rare contributions to this band.
That's true. Nolan helped. Nolan wrote the Sam.
Are you shitting me? Okay, so I have a question about that because, like, I was we've been blown away by that, and everybody that listens to the podcast, like from the start, has been like, "That is the coolest fucking theme song for a podcast." Which, for those that don't know that are watching on YouTube land or listening in audio land, we got a fucking email the one day from you guys, and you guys were like, "Hey, we did something for you," and it was honestly the nicest fucking thing anybody's ever done for us.
It was very special for us. We're just a couple guys fucking around, having some fun, and to get that email, like I said, my heart grew 3 sizes. And, I might have an issue in the future, some medical conditions going forward, but it was certainly worth it.
Aaron's heart grew 3 sizes, and my penis grew 3 sizes.
It's still small.
It's still small.
Fucking A, dude. Yeah.
Oh, you Grinch, you.
What a coincidence. My butthole is expanded.
3 inches.
It's perfect.
Dude, it would be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Exactly.
Been there.
Yep.
Old joke.
Old joke.
Food fight.
Okay, so let's get back to the start of the Vidos. How did you guys all meet?
Well, we usually tell a joke about like men seeking men on Craigslist, but we are a Craigslist band. Nolan and Kirk, the guitarist, were looking for bandmates on the men seeking men section of Craigslist. kind of a weird move for a 14.
It's funny, like
that's the bit we normally do, but to be honest, like we did find each other on Craigslist.
Nice.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
It's true. Kirk and I had basically exhausted every option of people we knew, people in the area that were young, wanting to be in a band, and the hilarious truth that is rarely disclosed or discussed is absolutely nobody wanted to be in a band with the current roster of me and Kirk. So,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's
everybody,
true.
Everybody hated it. Kirk was like, especially you could never have another guitar player in the band. Kirk would just scare them away. Like he would just be like, nope, that lick is mine. That riff is mine. And so it was like we knew from the beginning it was going to end up being a 3-piece in some way, shape, or form setup, or at least a single guitar player unit. So when we originally put our ad up, we were just looking for a bass player / singer, or both. We'll take a 4-piece. And man, like we ended up getting another guitar player in the mix, like with Brett as well.
Yeah, my best friend from high school found the ad, and we joined together, and we're doing all the jams and stuff like that. But as Nolan was describing, that Kirk is he's the guitar player of the band, and nobody else is allowed to. So
until recently,
I just started picking up the guitar, and he, believe me, it makes me. It's like I feel like he feels like he's sitting in the corner watching his own wife get fucked when I play the guitar, and he's like, I could do it so much better than that. Like he's like criticizing my form, fucking his wife while I'm playing guitar.
Go deeper, longer strokes.
Towards it. It's years of therapy.
But the funny part is when Brett came to the band, him and his buddy were trying to be 2 guitar players seeking a bass player and a drummer. So Brett went out and bought like a super shitty bass and showed up, and he's like, I'll do it. Fuck it. I just want to jam.
Yeah. I just want to be in a band. This was my first real band where I was playing an instrument. I had one where I sang in at a high school talent show, but that doesn't really count. But so this is the first. I'd been spending like 4 years in my room, no friends, fucking playing guitar, hoping that the mailman would hear me and be like, this guy fucking rules. From upstairs in my bedroom, like, yeah, Jimi Hendrix #2. And he's going to call his friends, and then friends connection, and that's going to be my life. But, so anyway, but I was over at my friend's house jamming with the guitar, and we're like, we got to get a band together. We go on Craigslist, find these assholes. The 2 guitarists don't mesh. My friend leaves. Now it's just the 3 of us, and it has been ever since, dude, since fucking August 2011.
Wow.
So we're coming on each other's chests. No, we're coming on 12 years. We're at 11 and a half years together now.
That's fucking insane.
thing.
That's crazy, man.
Dude, in 2011, I was rodeoing and getting hurt horribly.
Yeah.
And you guys were creating magic.
You were in the rodeo?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Spencer used to ride.
Really?
What, you rode Bronx?
I rode Bronx and bulls. I got my head stepped on by a bull when I was 15, and it knocked out all my teeth. It really fucking hurt.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it
No wonder
sucked.
you're so good looking.
Which, speaking of rodeo, because this is a connection that we have to the show, you guys got connected with Rock is Dead Records because you were playing the Cloverdale rodeo.
Yeah, dude. Nice segue.
Yeah, good piece of history there.
Yeah.
Wow.
This guy's like Nardwar, dude. He's doing all the. He's like Nardwar, doing all the deep research.
Dude, I did so much research for this episode.
Yeah.
I was looking up like every interview where you guys were mentioned. I fucking did a deep dive.
Doot 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 doot.
Doot doot.
Damn, dude. You went full Nard. But you can see my Nard anytime.
Never go full
Nard. Yeah, dude. So Danny, the drummer of Default, one half of Rock is Dead. We call them Rock is Dad. They're our papas, and they buy us things in exchange for like borderline sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say sexual favors are involved, right?
Yeah. oh no, they're no. It
Makes sense. It makes sense.
It's the industry, you know. Yeah.
That is how you get a record deal.
That's how you get anywhere in this world.
Yeah. How do you think I'm on so many TV shows? It's because I got a really good dick sucking mouth.
It's true. I've experienced it.
Oh yeah, dude. You get real good real quick.
Yeah. No, you get really good when there's money on the line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just for those of you at home, little fact is Brett started growing a mustache right around the time we signed the record deal. No consolation.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was in the fine print.
The old tickler.
The old Swedish meatball. But yeah, Danny had seen us play at this fucking Battle of the Bands at a now defunct establishment called the Cellar Launch Project.
It's now the Something House.
Yeah, it's a weird mobby kind of Hell's Angels. I shouldn't say that probably ever. Anyways, so we played this Battle of the Bands. Danny saw us. He was a judge. That's kind of what he does. Every time there's a Battle of the Bands, a lot of disgraced musicians will be the judges of the contest.
So just like comedy contests where they're like, hey, the local radio morning host is going to be the guy.
He's never going to watch this.
This vocabulary is so off today.
It's bad, yeah.
America's Got Talent.
He saw us at this Battle of the Bands, and he liked us. And then I think it was like the next night or maybe a couple nights later, he was at the rodeo with his family, and we had got a gig there, at a 9 p.m. doing an outdoor stage. And he was with his wife and kids, and he's like, hey, those are those guys from the other night. And he came up to us. He's like, hey, I think you guys have a kind of a cool sound. Like, this is back, like, this is pre probably anything you've heard on Spotify or anything like that. We had a bunch of like really hilarious.
The funny part about that show too was like, like he had seen us play and do our thing at the Cellar, which was great, and this high energy bunch of teenagers. But what even went further, the show that he saw, is that Kirk used to do this bit where he'd stand up on top of his amp and solo. And this happens, and this is on like an elevated fucking plywood stage with like very minimal support, so it's really bouncy and shit.
It's not gonna go well.
And Kirk has absolutely no wheel locks on this cab. So he fucking gets up there in the middle of his solo and falls backwards and unplugs the entire fucking stage as Danny's watching this. Like, and so like, and I'm drumming there like a fucking jackass.
It's just him, and I'm yelling.
They're going back to their amp, or Brett is for a second trying to see if his fucking amp like blew out or something, and he doesn't notice Kirk is like getting up from like the ground below the stage, like 3 feet below. And yet somehow Danny Craig still comes up and he's like, here's my card. He really likes you guys.
He's like, you got the stuff.
Yeah.
That's so.
You guys have that star factor. You guys are
that reminds me of the story
destroying stages at a municipal event. Oh, I love you.
Yeah. That's how. And then so we recorded a few songs with Danny, and he's had a few iterations of this. Like, he's always kind of wanted to have a label, and he's been. He's an incredible producer, man. You've heard the singles, obviously. Mm-hmm. Like they're pretty rad. Everything we have out was mixed and produced by Danny. Except for the Miley Cyrus cover, we recorded that at home, but he still mixed it. Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is a fucking banger of a cover.
Yeah, it fucking is.
Hell yeah.
Also,
yeah, it's a good cover. It's a horrible album cover.
Yeah, it's a horrible artwork. Yeah, regrets.
Okay, what I was gonna say, the funniest part about imagining Kirk falling off the stage is that he was doing so in high heels. Is like that's the thing that was like on my mind. I was like, so not only is he standing on this amp, but he's also like in the worst shoes you could possibly do it in.
Yeah. That
story
Kirk honestly has worn the worst shoes notoriously in this band. Like, this kid fucking destroys shoes every 3 weeks. Like, in somehow he's like, oh, I got these new boots. And then the entire sole is like disjointed at the front,
but he insists on getting these like fucking shoes that were made by a cob, like elves in the middle of the night. Like he gets like, for some reason he gets like fucking homemade shoes that are like classy as fuck, and they cost him $600.
He visits the cobbler.
Like,
he goes to the cobbler.
Rides his bike in them and shit.
Kurt ties his shoes so goddamn tight that, like, I swear to God, like, the grommets are overlapping each other. Like, there's no lace in between on the, on the toe of his foot. It's completely tight, and he like soaks them in hot boiling water after, so they take mold to his feet. He's got athlete's foot like a couple times.
What a weird thing to be passionate about.
He's fucking going to Daniel Day-Lewis's cobbler to get the fucking
fetish.
Get the proper shoes.
The proper shoes.
Yeah. For those who don't know, a cobbler is a shoemaker.
Aaron, we have a very educated audience, okay? They know what a cobbler is.
Yeah, because it's fucking 1845. Cobblers are everywhere.
Peach cobbler.
Yeah, peach cobbler's pretty fucking good, actually.
Right?
I can go for one right now.
Listen, all of our fans in Chile right now know what a cobbler is.
Yeah, Chile still has cobblers.
Chile still has cobblers.
Chilean cobblers.
Yeah, I heard. Congratulations.
Thank you.
These guys are the #1 podcast in Chile.
Fucking awesome.
Canadian music history podcast in Chile. We have exactly one listener. We have exactly one listener.
I skipped over a few choice words.
Yeah, you missed a couple details.
But you know what? I'll take that title.
Yeah.
I have no shame in saying
it's not official from anywhere. It's official from Spencer's mouth like 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I am knowledgeable about the charts.
It's true.
And where we are at in the charts.
Yes.
The charts. Okay. Okay, so we have another connection too, because you guys also opened for Kenny versus Spenny.
Yes, we were just talking about that.
Clearbrook.
Yeah, was that what it was? Cranbrook.
No.
Clearbrook. That's a street in Abbotsford.
That's somewhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. It was in like interior BC.
I thought it was Cran.
It was close to Cranbrook.
Okay, well, anyway, I think it's kind of irrelevant. We actually closed. Are you guys? Yeah, we went on after.
Yeah. We're the headliners in this scenario.
No, we're not the headliner. We're the DJ that comes on when everyone doesn't give a fuck, and it's Wednesday night.
It's all over.
Hell yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. I can't remember even how we got that. I think we just, we really wanted it. And we were on tour, and we were we got our...
called us.
Oh, yeah. Art got us?
Yeah, we had this agent we used to work with, this... again, another kind of Yoda in our life. Danny was like, guys, you're not gonna fucking believe this. You guys are gonna open for Kenny versus fucking Spenny.
Yeah.
In 2 days from now.
That's how he talks on the phone. He talks he's like, boys, I'm not fucking kidding. You got air pockets in your fucking back that you can access, and you can scream there.
Yeah. And then he's like, watch this.
Ah!
That was all fucking air pockets.
That's funny.
I'm not even out of breath right now.
So he got us in. We had so many fucking weird shows on that tour too, but that was our second or third to last show before we finally coming home.
Yeah,
and it was a dream come true, dude. Even just Kenny, neither of them were fucking feeling it that day. You could tell. Kenny was in the parking lot smoking, and he's just we're like, hey, dude. It was our dream come true to meet him. He's like, yeah, hey. You could tell he was just fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think we had a smoke with him.
Yeah, light up smoke. I still got the lighter.
And
old Lucky Dick.
Yeah, that's right. It's in a container. It's actually it's in that room over there.
Nice.
Wait, really?
He's got a shrine, a
Kenny shrine.
But yeah, dude, it's our fucking absolute favorite show. It's one of the first things we bonded over when we'd smoke weed and just Nolan sleep over at my house and we just binge Kenny versus Spenny.
Man, episodes. We've seen every episode 10 times, if not
dude,
some more.
Yeah.
So
Like,
we should be anticipating
everyone.
a
But it's funny,
grandpa
at
cover.
the end of the show, or like right kind of as we went on, Spenny was like, "Hey, you guys can have what's left of the green room once we're gone."
Yeah, he let us pick through his.
Oh man, like
their green room.
there was
How
fucking
generous.
razors, there were clocks, there was a couple 2.6s still left. They had like an fucking believable amount of beer. It was like over 90 or something.
Dude, that's actually surprising because when I opened for them, there was nothing left in the green room after Spenny was done. He fucking drinks like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah, I had
he must
one
have been
beer
taking it
that
easy
night.
at that.
One.
Yeah.
One beverage. That was it.
I mean, I would drink too if I was Canada's favorite punching bag for 20 years. I would also drink heavily.
Man. Yeah.
Dude, and how weird is it that like there are people that should be more hateable, yet he's just the one that we're all like, yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck this douchebag.
Definitely. He's got a face. He's got the face.
Yeah, he's got one of those faces. You know?
He's got a very hateable face.
That's why Kirk's not here today.
Dude, I don't think I've ever seen Kirk speak.
You seen him what?
I've never seen Kirk speak.
Oh, yeah, no, he doesn't. Yeah.
It's for the best.
We don't let him. It's so toxic. He's like, we just come on this podcast. Like, dude, we can have a whole episode of just shit talking Kirk.
So you guys are beaten down on Helen Keller by the sounds of it. Helen Keller with good shoes.
No, he can see.
Oh, you can see. That's good. It's good to know he can see the shoes he's wearing.
He can't hear.
But some of the times you'd think that he didn't see the shoes he's wearing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he can see, but he still has bad taste.
Yeah,
oh
man.
fuck. Okay, so I wanna jump back to like early Vidos. How did you guys come up with the name Vidos?
Oh man,
dude, it was like it was shitty. We were under pressure because we had a gig and we had no name. And so like Brett called me one night. He's like, "Oh man, I know. Let's just call it after fucking Kirk's grandpa." And we all called him Vito because he looks like
Vincent Margera.
Vincent Margera, Bam Margera's uncle.
No!
Bam, because he talks. Yeah, like abacus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what we thought Kirk's grandpa looked like, and he kind of does without the lazy eye. And not so much anymore, but
and he's
he
a
did.
good person too.
He's a very nice man.
Yeah, he's not grabbing
beautiful.
teenagers' butts.
Yeah,
Exactly. He's as far as we know, he's never molested an underage.
It's kind of funny. It's not funny, but he's never loved the name. Like it kind of stuck with him. You know, he didn't like being compared to that. But then like we're just like, dude, you're now like the fucking flag of this band, man. Like this is an honor. You know, you're in the fucking Vidos Ring of Honor right now, and so now he gets it.
Oh, perfect.
We misspelled it too. Like obviously it's supposed to be Vito, I think is the Italian, but
Veto.
Yeah, like Nick's that opinion sort of thing. But we chose the spelling that everyone pronounces Vidos, to the point where at a certain gig, it might have even been Kenny versus Spenny. Some girl came up to us and was like, "Hey, does the name, is it like a little mashup of vibrators and dildos, like the vibrating dildos? Yeah. Is that what your name means?"
And we're like,
and then we're like, you know what? Now that you mention it,
yes, it is
absolutely.
You're at a Spencer's gift store. You're like, "Oh, that's a perfect name for the band." You see a vibrating
Vidos.
Yeah, it's like
sometimes shit just writes itself.
It does. And it just stuck. It like we had that gig, which was at our local hockey rink for a Langley Riverman game. Then we ended up playing like our 30-hour famine at our high school, and it just stuck, man.
The rest is history.
We just kept going. We've thought so many fucking times about rebranding. We're like, holy fuck, people spelling and all that shit. But we got working with this new manager and stuff, and he was like, dude, you guys have search engine optimization with this fucking shit.
SEO, baby.
He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you struck a gold mine. You guys are the only result. So we're like, okay, fuck it. Let's do it.
What can you do?
Let's keep it going.
A dyslexic person can't write video, and they find someone with dyslexia can't write video, and they find your fucking band. It's perfect.
Literally, dude. Like, no joke. We had a song back in the day. We had a song called "Sex Potion," and of course it's by the Vidos. So, but it got like 100,000 hits because all these fucking idiots online were trying to Google sex position video. So it's sex potion. Yeah, dude, literally, like, yeah. It's ridiculous, but that is 100% true. And same with the Car Trouble music video. It has so many hits because people are Googling Car Trouble video. They're just like, they're like, it's like some asshole's like, my car is in trouble, and he goes on YouTube and like types it in. I need videos to diagnose this.
The thumbnail is the girl with the hood open.
Yeah, they see a girl in a car, they're like, oh,
that's
perfect.
The clickbait. So it's like there's like a hot blonde chick, and then it just that's how anyone knows any of our music.
It's perfect.
Is typos specifically.
Well, we rely on it for business.
I mean, you say that's how everyone knows your music, but I know your music because I saw you guys at Rockin' for Dollars, December 2018, and I swear to God, it was not only the like set of the night, it's one of the best sets I've ever seen at Rockin' for Dollars. For those that don't know that are listening,
oh shit,
with Rockin' for Dollars. Bands will come up, they'll do 2 of their own songs and then a cover, and the cover is like themed around the night. The night that the Vidos were on, it was Shania Twain themed, and they did, I'm not kidding, the fucking coolest cover of Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Like, it was so high energy. But I thought it was so funny because nobody was expecting that at all. Like, it was just, yeah, like, you guys attacked the stage with so much energy. Like, I have to say, anybody that's out there, if you can go see these guys live, like at the album release party maybe in Vancouver,
yes, sir.
Fucking do it. Cause, yeah, you guys are like a force to be reckoned with on stage.
Damn.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude. You really want to bring the heat at Rockin' for Dollars, man. There's just an energy. Well, unfortunately, like you just told us off camera that they fucking closed it down.
Well, Rockin' for Dollars is still going, but
is it? It's just not at Broken, but they still have Rockin' for Dollars.
Yeah, it's at Inner City.
Where are they doing it? Oh, okay. Have you been? Is it any
No,
good?
I haven't, but I'm going this Wednesday because some friends of the show, the Sunstrokes, are going to be on. So
cool. Fuck yeah. All right. Well, yeah, definitely let us know how that is. Like, I'm a little skeptical because Broken City just had such a vibe, but I don't know where he's going.
There was something about the bathrooms there, man. When you come in and there's like no toilet paper holders, it's all sitting on either the ground or the back of the toilet. Yeah, like it was. The stalls are half hanging on. There's this graffiti everywhere. There's something romantic about that.
There was a hole in the mirror in the men's room. There was a hole in the mirror that looked out at the window, which was right beside the sidewalk. Like, that's how you know that an establishment is good, is when you can be peeing and somebody's watching you while they're walking by on the street.
Literally, dude, and not to mention no locks on the stall, so you're shitting like that.
Which I think is optimal position according to the doctors.
That's true.
You gotta have your knees up. You gotta have your knees high and legs spread. Yeah, that's the only way to shit, actually.
That's how our ancestors did it, boys.
Aim for the hole. Aim for the hole.
Dude,
I knew it.
How okay, you guys are having some Guinness. I guess we should have mentioned the beer that we're drinking at the top of the show.
Yeah, what are you guys drinking today?
We are drinking from our official, non-official sponsor of the podcast, Cabin Brewing, Top Shelf.
It's a whiskey sour ale. I actually had this the other day because Sam works there, so he gave me a little behind-the-scenes tour. It's like a lemon meringue pie beer. And then barrel aged. It's fucking super tasty.
Holy shit! Damn.
It's like 8%, 8.4% alcohol.
Oh my god!
I already drank all mine.
Is this your first episode of the day?
Wait, what?
Is Is this your first episode today?
Yeah, we're only doing one today now because the other group that we're interviewing, we're doing them tomorrow. Next Saturday, though, we have an early morning because we're interviewing a comic from the UK about his special that just came out, and then we're interviewing Faris Haitia, who's gonna be in here. So we're gonna actually have our first guest in the room with us.
That'll be fun.
That's gonna be weird.
But the first time we tried to do a double header, we got fucking drunk, and we had to closet the episode because we got so fucking hammered it went off the rails.
It was rough. We would have gotten sued so hard for what we were talking about in that episode. Like, there's no way that we wouldn't have gotten a libel suit against us by somebody who we both had.
I said some bad things that episode. I would have got in trouble.
I think we wished death upon someone, which was weird because we were doing Mac Miller, and then we got all sad because Mac Miller just dead. So it was a roller coaster.
It was a bad episode. Maybe one day we'll release it.
One day I would like to just send that to me personally. I will never leave it.
But we got a really good clip
I'm
about
such a fan.
Spencer.
I want a bootleg of that episode.
Yeah, we got a good clip about Spencer sleeping through a terrorist attack. And that was like the biggest video we've had so far. So.
Which it's true. Okay, so I have a question because you guys spent like a year in Toronto, living out of your van and just doing shows. So were you there the year that the terrorist attack happened?
Yeah, what year were you there?
I can't remember. So
we got there we arrived in Toronto in September 1st,
2019,
2018.
18.
Yeah. So I moved there the exact same day. I think 2 days earlier.
Yeah,
I moved to Toronto.
Really?
Yeah, I moved in
Holy
with this
shit.
fucking guy.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been 2018. I moved.
Because we were literally tossing a frisbee on Yonge Street at 1 a.m. when we found out, like, we were like bonding over Mac Miller, and then the next day we found out he was dead, and we were like, oh.
Yeah, that was depressing.
That was depressing, but it was also weird because I think that Mac Miller was coming to say bye to us.
Yeah, I think he knew.
Yeah, he was like, these two fucking idiots.
Yeah, we were his top priority.
These two idiots in Toronto playing a children's game in the street.
Yeah,
the busiest street in Canada.
But that's funny that we were there at the same time. That's interesting.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
that's right, dude. That's so funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's like. I remember, now that you mention it, like I remember getting that news while we were driving out there. Like, whatever, we were probably in Thunder Bay or something at that point. If it was a couple days before, a couple days after you guys got there. That, I kind of remember that. I was just like, damn, it was a hard time.
Spencer doesn't remember it either because he was sleeping. Spencer slept fucking through it.
Yeah, no, I don't remember a terrorist attack. I do remember Mac Miller's death.
That guy in the van fucking ran through all those people, like up the like it was probably a couple kilometers away from where we lived, and like everybody was hitting up Spencer. I was texting Spencer, like I was like, dude, like you okay? Like it just said Yonge Street, and then Spencer didn't answer anybody because he was fucking asleep.
I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon, and I just have like literally 100 messages and missed calls from people, and they're like, holy fuck, are you okay? And I was staying in a different part of Toronto anyways at this time, so I was like, I wouldn't like have known anyways. But then I see all these messages and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I like turn on Facebook and people are marking themselves safe, and I'm like, what happened? And then turns out a dude killed 25 people.
Yeah, was it that many? I think it was less than that.
Dude.
Yeah, he fucking drove over 25 people.
Yeah. No, my anxious mother was even more anxious to let me move.
Okay, so I have a question then. When you guys were in Toronto, like, you guys just spent the whole year like doing shows. How do you think that helped with like building your stage presence more if you were like strictly doing shows for a whole year?
Well, we this is like we like to talk about this a lot because there's a lot of factors at play, but like just when you go out there, the music scene is it's different. It's way different than it is out here. It's way different than it is I think anywhere in Canada. Obviously, like there's a sort of they hold themselves to a higher regard. We're Toronto. They have like this. There's this like whatever.
Actually, they say we're Toronto.
Innate.
the center
they go,
of Canada.
We're Toronto. They go like kind of like that. They're like, we're Toronto.
We're Toronto.
We're
Kind of
Toronto.
have that, but it's great. There's so many good musicians. We kind of learned to dial it back a little bit. I know you were just like bragging about how fucking off balls to the walls like we are, and like, I mean, we still are, but like that's a small sample. Like Broken City is a small sample size because you get 10 minutes to blow the fucking doors off, and it's like we really learned how to fucking command a room from the people that we watched in Toronto at all the little open mics and stuff. Like there's certain people that go up and you can just hear a fucking pin drop because of how just much respect there is in the room for what this person's doing on the stage and how fucking good they are at doing it. It made us like, so we first 6 months, or not, maybe not even 6, maybe first 3 or 4 months, we'd go up there and just do what you're saying, fucking slam it out, bring the heat, 2 songs, fucking, rip the roof off the place. And then you'd see this fucking singer-songwriter go up and just nobody's saying a fucking word. And you're kind of like, oh, there's maybe a little bit something to that as well. So we kind of learned to balance and push and pull moments of the set where there's intensity, and then it's got to be like a movie. There's got to be acts in it and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's the long, fucking winded, rambly, twisty-turdy answer to your question.
I mean, it's kind of funny because like, even just like circling back to like Rockin' for Dollars, like we had played Rockin' for Dollars a few times before, like even you caught our set there with the Shania Twain thing going on. And the funny thing is like when we had come to play that set, we had just finished up living on the bus for 3 or 4 months by that time, doing nothing but going to those type of events in Toronto, where it's like there's kind of a built-in like music community kind of thing. And like, yeah, like it'd be like we do one different one every day of the week. So like Mondays would be at the Painted Lady. Tuesdays would be down
B-side?
Or was that Wednesday? I think Wednesdays was B-side.
Piston.
Piston, Dakota Tavern. The Hideout was one on Tuesdays.
There you go. That was the one.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of them. So like we just did this like circuit, and it was always the same group of people kind of going through the same shows. So like you'd really you'd see everybody there, and everybody would be jamming together. They'd be sharing instruments.
That's true. Yeah, you jump up on stage. Yeah, it's open micing.
It was very, very open micy. So what's funny is like when we came back for that Shania Twain cover set show, we had like done this competition at Christmas for that we'd fly anywhere to go play like their New Year's Eve party, essentially in their living room. And we ended up going to Calgary for that. And so we're like, fuck it, we're here. Let's just go down for Rockin' for Dollars. And it was really funny. I can't remember if did we already learn? Did we already have Man, I Feel Like a Woman?
No, we had to learn it because of the Shania Twain.
So that's, I think we played it like once before we left Toronto.
Holy
and then
shit.
We headed right to Calgary.
It's such a fun song.
Yeah.
Dude. It's just one of the best songs ever. It's such a good fucking song.
Yeah.
It
was like, even coming to Rockin' for Dollars, we had like a very different perspective coming into it that time versus the other times that we had done it. Because we like even Rockin' for Dollars, we were so it was so new to us, like this built-in music community that goes for these just relentless shows of craziness and awesomeness. That there's nothing like that in Vancouver, and there's there's that one there in Calgary. There's a whole bunch of them in Toronto. It's a very cool similarity that those two things share.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think that
there's even more of a one. You're gonna have a fun time editing this one.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be great. Sam's gonna have he's gonna earn his paycheck this week. Let's just say
his paycheck of $0
and
giving us beers.
Yeah, he gives us beer. He actually pays us technically to do this podcast,
with alcohol,
which is fair.
We'll send him a shirt.
Doing those shows though that have a built-in audience is like, it's a whole. It does help you, I think, develop as an artist. Like I'm taking this from like a comedian perspective. Like for instance, at Broken City, there used to be Comedy Monday Night, which every single Monday it was like, you know, a lot of the same people coming in, but it was such a fucking built-in community, and people were like excited to see you develop your act, you know. And so I think like when you get to do those types of shows regularly, where you're going in, there's a built-in audience, you're the underdog in a way, you know, but people are there to support you because they're there to go see like something really cool. I think it puts into perspective a lot of like your creative process as well, because you're no longer just thinking like, okay, what's going to be a hit? You're like, what is going to be fun for me? And then have the crowd have that same level of fun and enjoyment.
Dude, fucking totally, man. That's so nail on the head. Yeah, for you, it's like, how do I, like, you're not just, I mean, obviously you're going out there to fucking kill, but you're also wanting to throw some curveballs. Like, you want to defy expectations. And that's what we learned to do. And like the people that we've kept up with from Toronto, a few of them are like, it was a pleasure watching you grow, right? Like, yeah, like what you said was so nail on the head. I don't need to really add anything to it, but I just thought that was a beautiful thing you just said, and I'm gonna cry now.
Oh man!
One thing I found interesting you said too was about finding your like balance as a performer. I think that's super important as well. I thought that was a really good point. It's like, you know, you can do that high energy stuff all the time, but there's also a lot of value in controlling a crowd. You know, doing like a you know, a slow song or something like that. It reminded me of, I don't know if you've ever seen the clip of Tracy Chapman singing Fast Car at Wembley Stadium, and like you could dead silent, everybody's just dead focused on her. She had so much power, and she's singing, you know, just her and her guitar, and that's also a really powerful way to control an audience as well. I thought it was a really great point.
I got goosebumps just from you telling me that, because I just imagined it and I went, "Oh my god!"
There's like 70,000 people there watching her, and you couldn't hear any of them. She's up there with a guitar just singing. It was brilliant. Yeah,
it's such a fucking good song. That's always been one of me and his favorite songs.
It's a great song. Yeah, too bad that dance track. They did a dance remix of it, and it butchered it. I don't know if you ever heard the dance remix. It's terrible. It's like my old man got a problem. It's like, yeah.
Try to get a job the way it lives. Said body's too old for working. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Body too young to look like his. Drop the bass.
Boom, 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 boom.
Lord.
That's exactly what it sounds like. That was actually perfect.
Actually, we did it better, and I think that should just be released as a single.
That's our debut album.
Yeah. Okay, so on a more like serious note here, because like obviously you guys have been together since 2011. You have a lot of singles that you've released, and this is going to be your debut album. But how often are you guys rehearsing? Because I heard in a clip that you guys rehearse 6 days a week, but what's your rehearsal to writing balance?
Well, we got tight by rehearsing 6 days a week, and then we're able to maintain that. We put that work in so that we can come back and hit it for a couple of weeks and be show ready. Like, so we get together, I think 3 or 4 times a week. But that doesn't always mean playing. Sometimes it's just a meeting and programming the show, or working out new parts, or extending arrangements. And it's just like, it's a lot more. When we're hitting the 6 times a week, it was like we'd go in for 3 hours and we just fucking rip the set over and over again. And I think, like I said, it just gave us the ability to, it eliminated a lot of, we can communicate kind of way fucking quicker now, because we're just like, we know all the cues. Even if it's a new song, we're kind of like, okay, we have like shorthand, like court stenographer fucking shorthand for like, okay, you gotta, you know, whatever, trim the shit. We cut arrangements. It's a whole shebang. Yeah. But So yeah, we don't practice that much anymore
until we need to play for
yeah,
a show,
and then we'll hammer it. But that's I don't know. I think it took a long time to learn that that's what you can do. Is you can take, like, honestly, when we wrote this record, we rarely practiced. I would say we probably practiced once a week in the living room, just go through. We'd play some covers and just have a few beers and have some fun, just stay tight. But when we wrote the record, it was right during the pandemic. We're closed into a house, and we're each in our own little spaces and rooms and just emailing tracks through to each other. And then when I was working, he'd be at home recording drums for a demo that I did, and then we'd send it over to Kirk, replace the guitars. It's a whole thing. That's how the album was written. And I can remember like having 3 or 4 practices over that span of 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was mainly just us it was so important for us to, especially during that pandemic. We're in a house together. We're locked in a house together. It was me, Kurt, Nolan, and Nolan's partner, all fucking locked into a house together. And you had to carve out that space for yourself. So we'd go for walks, listen to our own music and stuff. And then when we started creating music, it was each guy had his own little box of influences that we'd all been listening to, and we'd send that all around to each other and just feed off each other's influences. Very rarely were we ever listening to the same music or practicing together.
Never really written together. Like, we'd never take takes together. It was always shopped around the parts, each individual sent to the other, while all under the same room. We also all used 3 different complete recording setups to do so.
That's true. Yeah.
So I used Pro Tools, which would send Brett. He would use GarageBand, and then Kirk would be on Logic, GarageBand computer style.
Yeah.
Brett did everything off his cell phone though. So.
Yeah. Every demo I ever do is on my phone.
Oh, that's so fucking
the
funny.
Funnest way to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
your guys' theme song, I believe, was off his phone.
Oh,
literally, the whole theme song. Yeah, that's a GarageBand. Everything about that was a part of my phone.
Yo, that's insane. That's so fucking cool. But okay, so I have to go back for a second because what it kind of sounds like is like you're rehearsing, like your writing process is a part of your rehearsal. Like that is, and you're constantly like writing and rewriting. Now, I have a question because the album, you guys finished recording it end of 2021. So I know as a comedian, like I'm constantly fucking rewriting bits, and it's driving me crazy because my album that I released 4 years ago, I have better tags now for those jokes, and I'm like, fuck me. But I also, when I record something, I put it out right away because I'm like, I don't want to have to think about it. Now, in a year and a half, have you guys had like anything on the album that you've been like, fuck, I want to change that now?
Yeah, what would you say?
I mean, like, for me, as far as like the arrangements go on the song, like especially like working with Danny and stuff, our philosophy has always been like the songs, they are gonna have the least amount, like we're gonna trim as much fat off them as we can. Like it's not gonna be like double this section or like a longer or like arrangements and stuff like that. And that's kind of where we have a little bit more fun live, where we get to kind of lean into those ideas a little bit harder. But the album's like generally pretty tight on all those things. For me, like I think the only thing is, what would we do to make it sound different, right? Like even the album we have coming out is like a snapshot of how we decided to record it at Danny's and stuff, and I love it. The thing is just like you could imagine what would it sound like if you did exactly the same takes in a different room,
in a wood cabin. That's so, because like when we were shut in writing this, we really had a different idea of what it would sound like. And Danny got a hold of it, and he's like, okay, we're putting distortion on everything, the vocals, the drums. And that's how we came up with our this made-up genre that we think we are, called sludge pop. It sounds like pop songs with just layers and layers of sludge over top of everything. Semen. Yeah, big old just loads blown over all the microphones.
And usually you get semen from your
yeah.
pops. Oh!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa,
exactly. A lot of pineapple juice was consumed in the making of this album. And Mountain Dew. But yeah, like
and Mountain Dew.
we kind of had this we really wanted it to sound like more natural, like live instrumentation. Like we wanted it to sound like a wood cabin. It was supposed to be a way quieter record than it turned out to be.
Oh,
it
shit.
was like it was very because like just the vibe around the house was all I mean, there was a little bit of, it was kind of somber, but it was also us, like I said before, like just like how would this sound stripped down in an open mic setting? Like you want to hear the room, you want to hear the reverb, like, and so we were really thinking it was going to be a much quieter, more laid back record.
The funny part about the volume of the record is this is the first time since first set of singles we ever did with Danny, we went to use the same mastering guy, which is down in LA. His name's Tom Baker. So that guy did Horseshoes, Shoe Bomb, and Car Trouble, which are really, really fucking loud songs.
Loud, yeah.
But like you look at like Perfect Stranger or Ice Cream or especially Criminals, or you know anything else that's come out since then before the album, it's a lot. You know, it's like it's tight, it's punchy. It's not like screaming though, but we were like, fuck it, let's go back to that guy. So this, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with imagining a quiet record. Because we're like, yeah, man, let's get the fucking loudest guy in the industry to do this again. And like, I swear to God, like when we were first sent the album by like from Danny and shit, we'd open it and like iPhone files or Dropbox, wherever the fuck it was. And like the songs, the bits were completely straight.
The waveform is just a fucking solid slug. There's no peaks or valleys whatsoever.
Like a fucking lightsaber, man.
It's like, and we were kind of like, okay, that's the sound. Like that's the sound of the record now. It's like
it's huge.
You could tell when Danny started engineering it and finding tones and when the distortion was on and everything. We're like, okay, the quiet thing is out. Like that's we need to move to fucking whatever Albuquerque to get a quiet sound. Like it's not gonna happen here in Danny's garage. Danny's garage recorded the whole thing, literally in a garage studio that he's spent thousands and thousands of dollars on, mind you. But it is literally just the garage of his family home. And we were shut in there for 6 weeks. Yeah, I don't even remember what the original question was. I just got so excited.
That's okay. There is something, I guess, that takes, I guess, a little bit of humbleness, too, from your guys' end, is to take your original vision and let your hands go away from it and let somebody else you trust put their imprint on it as well. And, you know, you have to have a certain amount of trust with your producer to, you know, let them imprint their vision on top of your vision and trust the process, right? That's not an easy thing to do.
Fucking dude, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, like with Danny from the beginning, like especially when we were young, the thing he would always hold over is he'd be like, well, guys, you know, I've sold 1 million records. So, he'll always remind us of that. But, you know, we picked up a few tricks along the way. So we've like, even on this last record, we earned a couple veto cards. We're like, no, man, fuck you. This is and he learned to love it, man. And like, I swear to God, like we're one of the few occasions that we learned to love it. Even like with One Bad Son, which was Danny's very first band that he had some success with on their first full-length album. I think it was Retribution Blues. I could be wrong, but I think it's that one. He said he fucking hated it. And he was just like, no way we're doing this. You know, kick it off. And fucking, you know, it was one of their biggest hits off that first album. So
yeah, he should have never told us that, because
once we heard that, we're like, okay, there's room for this man to be wrong. Which we earn and hold on to very fucking desperately.
But I remember what I was going to say. I'm circling back to Nolan's point about like when you said what would you change maybe off the record or anything like that. Like, yeah, that was well put. I think in our environment, you're allowed to let the songs grow and become something else other than what the recording is on the record. And it's only going to get more so like as we move through phases of this band where the sounds are changing. We got to change the set list up. And even if we wanted to bring in a song that's like doesn't fit the vibe of the set list, we might have to kind of change the instrumentation or the vibe or the tempo or the whatever the fuck. Like, you get to kind of sculpt it after the fact, which is like, I know as a comedian that's not necessarily always the case. You kind of burn that material when you put a record out. Unless you get a really killer you do see some guys recycling the same premise but then fucking hitting it from a different angle and having a way better tag years down the road.
Well, and you also
where you're
see...
like, oh, he's doing a classic, but that's the misdirection that he uses. Is like he's doing a classic off one of his old albums. He's hitting you with a different fucking punchline.
Well, and like,
you're like,
there's some comedians too that have like such iconic bits, like Ron White's tater salad bit.
I think Kreischer's the Machine.
Man. Kreischer's the Machine.
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries' Gun Control.
Of course.
You know, like there's a few bits that like, because they're so fucking iconic and that was the thing that made that person pop, the audience actually does want to hear it. And especially because then you have if you're seeing it live, you're going to see it different. The one problem that we have specifically with Canadian comics is Canadian comics will record an album and then keep doing the material off that album. And the only time that I will do that is I took someone's advice and they were like, if you get if you've released an album recently and you're going to be headlining, fucking pull a couple of jokes from that album and then be like, by the way, those 2 jokes were on my album, go check it out. And that's the only time that that's when I think that works.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good though. That's literally it. Like your act is a commercial for your record.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like, yeah, go to my fucking merch stand. It's almost the other way around, where like our records are a commercial for our live show. You wanna. Because that's where the money is for us. Like, honestly, for you, too, is the touring.
It's weird because like the only thing that you really make money at with comedy is like the big corporate shows where you suck and you hate it and it's not fun. But okay, so I want to ask one more question before we get into the album that we're gonna be covering this week.
Also, I have a bit of an idea because we were like, fuck it, if we run long, we run long. So maybe we do a part 1 and a part 2 of this podcast because we're already an hour or something in. So
yeah, do we want to do a part 1 and a part 2?
So yeah, we'll split up the album. We'll make it a part 2, and maybe we'll make the interview a part 1 and release that on its own.
Actually, let's do that. And then so you guys are going to be the first 2 episode guests.
There you go. Because I said,
holy shit.
I said to Spencer yesterday, I said, fuck it, if we run long, we run long. Yeah. I was like, I want to talk to these guys, so fuck it. Like, I don't care. Like, we try to keep it around an hour, but like, it really doesn't bother me. We run long.
And honestly, the album that we've picked is going to be one that we're all going to talk a lot about because it's kind of like the album of our fucking youth. So
definitely.
All right. So my last question for you guys before we get into the second part. Okay, first off, I have to say Perfect Stranger has been in my hype playlist for fucking years. And something that I really loved about Boom Shakalaka is specifically on the new record. It reminded me a lot of Perfect Stranger in that, like, it starts off with a little bit of air in between some of the notes, and then it fucking goes real hard. And then it pulls back a bit, and then it goes real fucking hard. So, what I was going to ask is, like, when you guys are making your music videos, because I've watched all of them, what is, like, the number one thing that you go into, knowing your songs, knowing your style, but then incorporating so much humor in your music videos? How do you go about that process?
Oh, man. I think it's just something we fucking did instinctively. We're just like, this has to be entertaining. We're talking about commercials for the music video is a commercial for the song, right? That's all it needs to be. So it's just like, as long as it's just stupid and fucking entertaining, like it's accomplishing its purpose.
One of the things, like the hardest thing I would say so far has been trying to figure out where to start with the first single of the said batch on a music video, because like our whole thing is we tend to universe all of our music videos. So like,
especially on this run, like we're trying to dive into
the last
the
one
VCU,
too. Like, like if you go
cinematic universe, the VCU.
Yeah, like
literally, dude. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Yeah, like it's all in the same kind of realm. So like once you get the first one written, it's a little easier to be like, hey, what elements do we want to put into the next one? And then
how do we make this jump the shark as quick as possible? Just get more and more ridiculous. Yeah.
So that kind of contributes to it. But as far as like the first ones start, like it's usually from like a harebrained, super stoned late night idea kind of thing. Like Brett and I will get together. Like one of the big think tanks for us, even for writing, is where we are literally right now, which is we call it the beer couch. Is Brett and I have a few beers on the couch, and we edit our music, we fucking write music videos, and it starts with just really stupid shit.
Totally.
So that's usually where the first idea comes from.
Well, totally, but like, sorry to interrupt, but like the instinct to make it funny is just like it's just what we also want to do. Like it's like, I mean, whatever. I've heard this quote a million times, but all musicians want to be comedians, and all comedians want to be.
It's so true.
Yeah. like, dude, like, so like there is such a tight knit thing there. It's just like we've recognized that we do have a bit of a knack for it, like. So we want to choose our moment. We want to be able to flex that part of ourselves too. Like we want to write comedy, and we're given this fucking automatic platform to like, well, you got to make social media posts, and you got to fucking, oh my God, here comes the nip squeeze. You got to fucking make music videos. Like we have to do this shit. So it might as well be as funny as possible, because it's the only thing. As soon as we start to take ourselves seriously, we eat our own asses, and we stay in bed for 3 days.
Well,
it feels disingenuous.
I was gonna say, it's like, just even talking to you guys for the past little bit, like it's pretty clear like your personalities shine through in your music videos. Like that's certainly a skill in itself, because a lot of bands make fucking music videos and they're like dreary and kind of fucking lame. Like there's no focus on actually like showing the personality of the band, and that's a part of. I know that's a part of it as well. Like you guys do it well. So
yeah, and also I gotta say this,
dude.
Nolan's Gilbert Gottfried is fucking incredible.
Yes. Fuck yes.
The late Gilbert Gottfried.
Come on, hum a few bars.
Yes, of course. Hey, listen, if you want to come to town with my sister, please buy us some flowers first.
Jesus.
Whatever you're going to do to her, I'm going to do to you, okay? You see this? You know where it goes? Right up your fucking ass.
Okay, that was too good. Like that was eerie.
Holy fuck, that was
Gilbert's
good.
Here.
Please say Afflex.
This is just stay on.
Gilbert's with us today.
Afflex?
Yeah. You guys have no idea. Like I couldn't almost talk after this for like 2 days. Doing that shit, like
fellas.
Yeah, fellas. Yeah, mix that.
You lost yourself in the role.
Crystal meth. You are not gonna do very well.
No, and you do have a nasty meth habit.
I have a nasty meth habit. I inject it right in the bag.
Dude.
Right in the ball.
Right in his air hole.
I like injecting methamphetamines.
Yeah, man. Right in the gooch.
Who doesn't?
Right in the perineum, as it's called.
Ooh.
Perineum.
Ooh, is that what
That's the scientific name of the taint.
That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Oh,
learn something new every day.
This is an educational podcast, after all.
We do like to educate the masses, especially as a Cornell University grad.
Yes.
Grads.
Yeah, I'm the only one that hasn't graduated from Cornell in the podcast group. But
Okay, so I think we're gonna cap this one off here, and then we're gonna jump into episode 2, part 2 with the Vidos.
Yeah, well, thanks everybody for listening. This was fun, an impromptu part 2.
Yeah.
So we'll cue it up, maybe take a piss.
Awesome,
and we'll be back.
All right, anal contusions.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Strikert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.